Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be discussing tonight's NBA DFS slate for DraftKings. We got a 6-game slate tonight, and this is the $4 entry with 100K to first. We're going to look over the injuries here, and then I will go through each game of the night, talking about who I am looking for or looking at, and who can potentially make an impact for our lineups tonight. With that, let's go to the injuries. Giannis is questionable tonight as he is dealing with a Achilles tendon injury. He has popped up on the injury report multiple times this season, but has ultimately played through them. And tonight against the Clippers, I expect him to be in there. Anthony Davis is probable, even though he has a questionable tag. LeBron is questionable. But he is suited up pretty much every game that he has been questionable for, so I expect him to play. De'Aaron Fox, ironically ruled out after lock on Friday with the no late swap. Today he is questionable with the knee injury, but he did participate in practice, so I think that's a good sign for him to play tonight. Lauri Markkanen is out tonight for Utah. Jaren Jackson Jr. is doubtful for Memphis. Jeremy Grant is doubtful for Portland against the Timberwolves tonight. Malcolm Brogdon is still out. DeAndre Ayton is questionable with a hand injury. Cam Thomas is out. Chris Middleton is still out, as well as Scoot Henderson. Ben Simmons is questionable with his leg injury. He's missed 3 straight games, so we'll have to see if he's in tonight. Alex Caruso is dealing with a hamstring injury. He did play in his last game, and I expect against the Kings tonight that he does suit up, considering it's a important game for them. But remains to be seen if he'll be in or not. Westbrook is out. Kessler is out tonight. Zaire Williams, another Memphis player, out. Scottie Pippen Jr. remains out for the Grizzlies. Matisse Thybulle, questionable with left hip soreness. And then Brandon Clark is still out. Jalen Williams is questionable. He was out against the Suns yesterday, so they might be just being precautionary with him, but he was out his last game, so he's not a big impact player, so not totally concerned about him. So yeah, let's get into the breakdown. We'll start with Memphis at Brooklyn. Brooklyn is without Cam Thomas, and I think that opens up things for Miles Bridges a little bit more. He broke out in his last game, I believe. Yeah, 38 points in his last game. Finally, the shots have started falling. Against Memphis, let me see. They ranked 17th against the position. He should have, I would think, a ton of usage tonight. I also like Dennis Schroeder at 5,900. Played 34 minutes in the last game. He's been producing. Salary keeps rising. And he's just a high ball usage person or player, so I don't hate him at 5,900 in this matchup. Otherwise, there really isn't anything I'm looking at this game for. Yeah, it's kind of ugly. If I were to choose someone from Memphis, it would probably no one. Honestly, yeah, I'm kind of off Memphis tonight. Brooklyn, I really only see Miles Bridges or Dennis Schroeder. Those are the only two that interest me from a fantasy perspective tonight from this game. That will move on to Portland at Minnesota. Again, Minnesota is the top team in the West, or one of the top teams in the West, and Portland has struggled this year. They're going to be without Jeremy Grant. He's doubtful tonight. DeAndre Ayton is still questionable. He did have a good game in his last game against the Timberwolves, I believe. 45 against the first time that they played him. But he had been a double-double machine, so he's not someone I'm totally interested in this matchup, but has done well if he's in. These prices are all really kind of bumped up. I guess Anthony Edwards at 8,800 is a steal, considering he got up all the way to the 9K range, but he's just been producing, and I think Portland's just a good matchup for him. No one's going to be able to guard him or defend him. Yeah, he's really the only one I see. Gobert at 7,500 is fine. I think if he was like 7-2 or 7-1, that would be a little bit more enticing. But since he's like middle in the 7Ks, it's just a little bit more, or it's a little less enticing, I would say. But overall, Anthony Edwards is the one that I am looking at in this matchup. And yeah, I guess you could maybe go to Chris Murray. He's been playing a ton of minutes, but he's not fantasy producing. And at 4,700, I don't necessarily like that. I'm just saying if you need like a lineup filler, maybe you go to him through Portland. Maybe... No, it's definitely not Banton. He's not getting minutes. Yeah, that's kind of where I would look at things for this game. That will move on to the Clippers and Milwaukee. This should be a really good matchup tonight, considering both of these teams are trying to win a championship this year. Yeah, Giannis, Kawhi, James Harden, Damian Lillard, Paul George, a ton of good players. So this is a highly exciting game to get up for. I ultimately think Giannis plays. I don't think there is a reason that he should miss this game unless, the injury is obviously hampering him so much. For the Clippers, I love James Harden tonight, 8,900. The Bucks really struggle against guards and scoring guards at that. Now, mind you, Harden has not been the scoring dominant person that we've normally seen. I mean, other than the game against Minnesota, he did pick it up, but that was because Paul George was out. So, I mean, Paul George could be the pivot here. But we also got to think the usage is pretty spread out between those three. And it's hard for really kind of one of them to go off. However, this is a pace-up matchup. And with Westbrook out, I expect them to be on the court as much as possible, assuming they stay out of foul trouble. Now, the one person, Bones Highland, received 14 minutes, 16 minutes. I don't know how much playing time he's going to get, but scoring guards against Milwaukee is kind of a thing. Low on pivot, maybe. Norman Powell should play it a good chunk of minutes. Yeah, 5,100. I don't hate him. Beasley is 4,400, which is kind of insane because he is exclusively taking pretty much three-point shots and has been getting involved in the offense enough where he's putting up close to 20 to 25 fantasy points a night. And at this price, at 4.4, I think maybe for cash is good, but for tournaments, he can definitely exceed that. I mean, 3-point attempts, 7, 9, 6, 7, 9, 10, 8, 6. And if we look at his field goal attempts, all of them are for 3-point range. 9 of the 12 3-pointers, all 3-pointers. 7 of 9 are 3-pointers. 9 of 12 are 3-pointers. So almost exclusively it's coming beyond the arc. And for him, I don't necessarily see James Harden, chasing him around, guarding him. So we'll see who guards him tonight, but I think he is in play at 4,400. Bobby Portis at 5,500 is someone I'm very interested in. The Clippers struggle on the glass, especially without Zubats in the lineup. He'll be starting, but when he is off the floor, they really struggle to rebound the ball with the bigs that they have. And preferably, I would wish the Clippers played Plumlee over Tice, because I think Plumlee's a better fit for their team. Although Tice does open up the three-point line a little bit, but overall, I think Plumlee's the better player. And I think Portis can take advantage of this matchup. He's posted 30 fantasy points in 4 straight games. He should get double-digit points, close to double-digit rebounds, block, steal, a couple assists here and there. So I think 5,500, he's a nice option down below here. But yeah, I'm off Dame. The Clippers are good at defending the guard position. I think Giannis will be able to have his way if he is in, which I think he will be in. He's just 81 points against Chicago, or fantasy points. He's just so dominant of a player, I get that the matchup's tough, but the bigger games is the ones that he kind of comes up for. So he's on my radar for tournaments tonight. But for the Clippers, I would say Paul George and Harden are my go-to that I'm looking at, with Powell being that next person. Then we got Washington and Utah tonight. Utah is without Markkanen and Kessler, which should open up at least a little bit more usage for the starters for Utah. I think this is going to get a ton of traction for the slate tonight, considering this game is 2 teams who are not very good, and the pace should be fast. Jordan Poole's price has gone up. He's produced in a couple of those games. Last game, I only played 21 minutes, but that was because Koulibaly came back. Or he is back now, sorry. I don't think he came back the game before. Out of this group, Kyle Kuzma, I don't know how he's still 7,400 and been producing 46 fantasy points in 4 straight games. The minutes are going to be there for him. There's no one that can really defend him on this team. So he is someone I'm extremely interested in. Avdia's back. I think he is a smash play. He'll get you points, but he's been cleaning up on the glass, and he's had 4 double-doubles in 8 games, and before that he had 5 the entire year. So with Gafford gone and now they have Bagley, I think the rebounding percentage for him has gone up, which has helped his fantasy stats. And I think eventually he might get close to that 7K range, but I don't think many people will choose him tonight. So he's someone that I'm looking at for tournaments. John Collins, at 6,500, I don't know if I can play him. I would probably play him. He should be close to a double-double, I would assume, in this matchup. Tyus Jones is someone I'm interested in at 6,200. I think with the fast play here, he should be able to rack up assists. Keontae George, I mean, they've kind of given him the reins here. He took 23 shots against Miami. 14 of them were three-pointers. I mean, he should be able to, have his way in this matchup, I would think. Taylor Hendricks has been playing more often. His price has risen. I don't necessarily like him tonight. I think he gets into foul trouble. Corey Kispert, he's okay. Yeah, that's kind of it. I don't really see much else from this game. Kuzma, Avdia, Jones for Washington. Utah would be George, Clarkson, and probably John Collins, or Colin Sexton, probably be Sexton. But I wish he has been getting minutes. His minutes have been consistent. Is it Clarkson? No. Who are they? I'll have to look at the rotations. But I think the scoring people, since Markkanen's out, the scoring is going to have to go up for the other people. So Sexton, Collins, and George. Sexton, George, and Clarkson, those are the people I would assume pick up those extra points to pick up for Markkanen's workload. But with that, let's move on to Chicago and Sacramento. For Chicago, they're dealing with an injury to Alex Caruso. He's been battling this hamstring injury for a while now. For Fox, he ended up getting ruled out of Friday night's game, but did participate in shoot-around on Sunday morning, or practice Sunday morning, and is still listed as questionable, but I think he should be in play here tonight. Sabonis at 10.5 is just too cheap. Oh, excuse me. I think he's kind of a must-play here against Chicago, who can struggle in the front court. I know they have Vucevic and Drummond to get rebounds, but they still struggle on the glass. As much as that is, like, Drummond doesn't struggle to get rebounds, but when he's not in the game, it's just Vooch. Vooch primarily plays from, I would say, the free throw line and out, back out to the three-point line. He's not necessarily in by the paint a ton, where Sabonis is, and so I would believe Sabonis has an easier matchup tonight of the Sacramento players. Excuse me. DeRozan, 7,700. A little pricey for my liking, but I like him as a bring-back option on this game. I don't think there's really anyone that could defend him, and I think Sacramento's defense isn't good enough that it's going to stifle DeRozan. So he is someone I'm looking at tonight. And I don't mind Drummond at 5,200. I really don't. If he's going to play 24 minutes, oh, Jesus, and get a double-double, I would take that at 5,200. It might not be tournament upside, but cash games, sure. But yeah, that's kind of it for Chicago, Sacramento. I guess Kobe White, he's been playing a ton of minutes. His shot has just not been falling. 2 for 5, 2 for 13, 2 for 9, 0 for 5, But he's still kind of doing some miscellaneous stats, trying to help him out. This matchup should be easier, I think. They have struggled against guards this season to a point, especially scoring guards. So I think White could be a breakout candidate for Chicago tonight. But Sacramento, Sabonis is kind of the person I'm looking at, and then maybe it's Keegan Murray. He's been playing well, I think. He's just playing a ton of minutes, and at 5,900, it's kind of hard to pass that up. So those are my options for Chicago, Sacramento. Last game of the night, we have Oklahoma City taking on the Lakers. Anthony Davis and LeBron James are both questionable, but I expect them to suit up. For this matchup, Shea, Chet, and Jalen Williams have been getting the primary dose of the minutes. I like Shea. I mean, he's just been great. 70 in his last game. He's at 30. He's at 30, over 30 points in 8 straight games. 30 real life points. Now he gets a great matchup against the Lakers. Should be faster pace. And I mean, he's recorded a steal in 8 straight games. He's recorded a block in 7 of those 8 games. I mean, assists 7 or 9, 7, 9, 8, 5, 7 with a couple threes. Rebounds 8, 6, 8, 5, 7. So I mean, rebounds could go up a little bit more, but I think he is someone that I'm looking at tonight for tournaments. Jalen Williams is someone I'm also looking at. I don't know if he pays off his price tag. Or not, I don't know. I don't think he does. But I think he has a chance to go under-owned and could be a difference maker for lineups. For the Lakers, Anthony Davis should do well in this matchup, I would think. I don't believe Chet's going to have a chance in guarding him. I think AD should dominate. For the Lakers, is Hachimura still playing a ton? Hachimura, if he's going to be out there, 34 minutes a night, they've been getting him involved enough on offense that he's taking 15, 11, 15, 9, 11, close to double-digit shot attempts each game. And for the Lakers, they're going to have to get everyone else involved. And I think I don't hate him at 5,200 tonight. Yeah, that would be the only Laker I would be interested in going down to. And as the season's progressed, the rotations have tightened, minutes have gone up for the players that need more minutes, and those who aren't on the floor aren't receiving those same minutes. And so the roles are being defined now, and at this point it's just, does the price come up to what they're producing or what their minute outload is and stuff like that. And so I think Hachimura at 5,200 is a good option as a candidate for the Lakers tonight, or if you need not a salary saver but a cheaper option at the position. So there you go. That is my preview for tonight's NBA slate. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. I will have a few articles up on my Patreon later today discussing more in depth about tonight's NBA slate. With that, thank you guys for watching and hope you guys have a good rest of your day.